Welcome back, Nick, on this Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 1498 and Doubleshot number 1392. You might be thinking, 4 Comic Corners in a row? You haven't done that in a long time. Well, I got a lot of stuff to review, so here you go. Now, this is discussing the 3rd and 4th volumes of the Hellblazer trade series. Now, most of the stuff, except for a few issues, are done by Tim Seeley. But first up, we're talking about Volume 3, The Inspirational Game. Now, this book collects issues 13 to 18. Now, Richard Keeley does do some issues in here, but Jesus Moreno, David Bure, and Jose Martinez Jr., those are the artists in here. The Tim Seeley issues, which take up the first few issues of this book, he's in London, like he said he would, that they did the last trade. He mostly is reconnecting with an old flame of his and working together with her for a few issues to basically like deal with some threats and some supernatural stuff in London for these few issues. Yeah. And that's pretty much what he does here. Yeah. It's a very good story arc. Oh yes, definitely. Does it feel like random things? Not really, per se. We do have, like, random kissing in here. Like, John Constantine kissing a guy because he's bisexual. We have, I think it was a young John Constantine, possibly. This guy's like, oh, now you're the lucky one, love. Just you meet the bloke who's actually gonna make you to the action on time. Kisses her. And she's like, are you bloody crazy? And she kisses him. And then apparently that turns these two having sex. Yep, in a bathroom, which, okay. And I'm thinking, like, this guy, like, wow, you lucky dog, get the smoking hot woman to sleep with you. Yep. Yeah, and the big thread of this story arc is these weird, like, demon creatures that basically look like their tongues and brains. It's kind of gross. But this is what Tim Seeley does. He's known for doing weird stuff. But his writing works for Hellblazer because he wrote Hack Slash. So of course he would. Yep. And then we have one issue where, get this, in part 3 of the Inspirational Game, where he, like, in this issue, like, is meet up by Swamp Thing and Zatanna. And he's like, oh, bugger, I'll just leave it alone. And she's like, okay, I thought you were about to say it. So she brings in the Justice League. And not just any Justice League. This is the lineup for the Brian Hitch run. Mostly it's pretty much everybody from the Brian Hitch run. You have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Flash. I think like the only person not here is Aquaman. But pretty much most of the run. And he pretty much just, they all come at him and nothing. Nothing much happens. And of course deals with those demons. And then more John Constantine, then he basically had to finish with a woman. He apparently has a one-night stand with her, which he enjoys that. And then he apologizes for being a jerk years prior and leave her behind. And he just leaves. He just puts his clothes on after basically these two had a round of, probably several rounds of sex. And, well, it's a great story arc. I gotta hand Tim Seeley was really good. And then he left for a couple issues. I'm like, really? Why would you leave for 2 issues? That makes no frickin' sense. You have the Bretto score, which is him meeting up with some woman who, like, deals with other supernatural demons. Yeah, this feels like more random stuff here. Him finding some other demons. This feels like him doing more random stuff. Now, the way these issues are written, it's definitely kind of like the original Hellblazer issues. The Tim Seeley stuff definitely feels like more modern day John Constantine. This feels more like some random stuff, basically, from the original Hellblazer book. That's the best way to describe the last couple issues of this book. Yeah. Actually, we're like the last 3 issues. Yeah. He finds some Aztec demon. It's okay. Excuse me. And like those people never coming back. Yeah, that's Here we go. All right, next up, we're on the final trade this run, the good old days. Oh, I'm gonna give the rating for this one later when I finish this one here. Now, this whole book is done by Tim Seeley. This book is good. Oh my gosh. You're probably thinking, why wasn't this basically the previous issue? So, of course, this is artwork done by Dare Ferrari and Christina Della Venica. Yeah. Even though this kind of feels like typical Hellblazer stuff from the original Hellblazer, it feels definitely like the modern day John Constantine. Yeah, after basically he's like saving some woman from some thugs, and then they apparently sleep together. Like, it looks like they're about to do it, and then we see him basically, it looked like he had just finished what he was doing, and going out and basically dealing with other stuff. Like, lots of smoking by him dealing with an old demon he's known, named Nigel. And, of course, there's this random crazy woman who's got this cross on her forehead. Yeah, she got a primary threat. And here's something interesting, though. The Huntress is here. Yeah, she's here for this whole story arc. Yes, the Huntress. And this is just after, I think this was just after they wrapped up the background Birds of Prey book that she popped up here. And I believe this was her most recent book that she appeared in, I could think of. Actually, no, she did appear in Detective Comics, though they redesigned her costume to look more like the pre-Flashpoint look, and they actually changed her skin tone color. Because here, she's basically still sporting the skin tone color from the Grayson book. Yes, they do establish the fact she's Italian, but for some reason she's black. And yeah, that's the thing with this woman. Oh yeah, this woman who's crazy. She apparently decides to hang on the cross outside this church where she's in her underwear of all things. And then she gets dressed. And of course, dealing with John Constantine. And summoning this weird looking demon. Who apparently sees John Constantine completely naked. And I'm surprised this demon, this beautiful demon, does not want to sleep with him. Like, okay lady, you have a naked man in front of you. Do something with him. Nope. Doesn't do anything with him at all. And of course you have... Now, Huntress being here makes no frickin' sense at all. My only guess is the reason why Tim Seeley included her, because he got to include some regular hero people we're familiar with. So, you have the Huntress here dealing with this crazy woman, and who turns out to be an actual vampire. Yeah, she's a vampire, and yet she's hanging out with a cross. And apparently she's got demons in her body. And, like, these people want to sacrifice John Constantine. Because, of course, demons don't like John Constantine because they hate him. They hate him more than frickin' Satan. That's all he's written. Because John Constantine is always written to be a jerk. A very lovable jerk, mind you. Mm-hmm. Fans love him, but in universe, people despise him. Yep. And then, of course, well, after dealing with this demon, who, of course, traps herself in another one's body, looks like she's about to die. She tried to take John Constantine's soul. And he's like, okay, you want a body? Take Huntress's body. And she's like, so you're gonna let me just summon your sexy superhero friend? Am I supposed to believe you cast me out and you'll cast me in a second? You say to yourself, he's like a limper distrahag of demon casting spree past day. If I wasn't wiped out, excess and demand a far amount of trust, excess and possessed. So basically she agrees. And it works somewhat, like, oh, look at this, I'm in a hot body. She's like enjoying herself, and then Demon's like, get your hands off my daughter. He's like, who the heck? Okay. Yeah, this ghost pops up. Yeah, it's Helena's father. Who died. Apparently he's a former priest. Yeah, it says he's a former priest. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the guy was a mobster, not a freaking priest. Like, oh yeah, retcon the fact he's a freaking priest. And he's the one that excises her out of the this guy out of the body. And apparently puts in John Constantine. And she's like, what the heck happened? She's like, seeing her father turn into a monster? Like, not really. and she looked like she was a vampire, like, oh crap, she's about to burn. And he's just walking down the street, and he's like, huh, nice day. And then he's grabbed by the Huntress. And then she basically is mad at him. And then, of course, she smiles at, and then they start making out. Yep, they make out. And he's like grabbing her butt, and that's how the book ends. I'm like, damn, John Constantine. You lucky guy, you got the Huntress. A smoking hot woman, the Huntress. A woman who in pre-Flashpoint dated the Question. Who, by the way, has never met him in the current continuity. Nope. I think for a while, this was her most recent appearance. Yeah. I do have a theory of why this book ended. And you're probably thinking, okay, why did this book end? My only guess is the reason why people weren't buying the book. My personal theory is that they probably didn't like the change of writers because they kept changing creative teams every few issues after the original writer left for reason, to say the least. Yeah. Now, for a while, I think this was her most recent appearance to date until she popped up for an issue of Harley Quinn, issue 64. Let's see. She also popped up recently. Recently, she's been appearing in the Tectocomic as a regular feature. Yeah, her most recent thing she's done, she appeared in Tectocomics. Or she's appeared as a regular supporting character in the Batman book. Or she's got a backup. Well, let's just see here. I think she's been appearing in the book for the most recent issues of this run. Yeah, the run under Marco Tamakago. Tamakagi, yes. She pretty much has made her a regular, like, supporting character of the book for this story arc here. That's the most recent thing she's done. Yep. Yeah. But not much else to say about this book. What ranking do I give the Hellblazer Volume 3 and 4? I'm going to give them both a 9 out of 10. Both good books. And in my opinion, Tim Seeley should have stayed. He should not have left for a few issues. He should have stayed with the book until the book ended. He should have done all these 12 issues. Or he could have, I don't know, done the book as the main writer. The only book he was working at this point was Nightwing. Well, this book had to end for that reason. Yep. But yeah, that's our particular review, and that's going to be pretty much it for this today. So stay tuned for tomorrow for more Battle Fever J. Okay, next video. Bye.